What you're about to see was created entirely by AI. The story, the characters, the scenes, the emotions, even the texture on the text. And I know you've seen people all over the internet using ChatGPT's 4.0 native image generator to do all sorts of fun things, from creating cartoon versions of themselves, comic pages, infographics, maybe even posters or product shots. I've tried it out to myself. So I snapped a few things around my house and used some simple prompts to create these ads, and you can see how good they are. But this made me wonder, can we create something truly cinematic with this? Can we create a solid, emotional, animated African story, start to finish, using just images from ChatGPT and a few easy tools? So I asked ChatGPT for help, and then I used a few simple tools to bring this to life, and this was the result.
But not all love is permissible. And in the kingdom of Lutaya, this was the reality. Mbali was a healer's daughter, born under moonlight, raised among whispers and wind.
So in this video, I'll show you exactly how I use ChatGPT 4.0 native image generator to bring this animated African love story to life. And make sure you watch till the end, because I'll also show you how to turn your own AI generated images into an entire video using simple tools. Let's get started. So the first step is for you to have a story script. So that is what I asked ChatGPT for. So you can see my story script here. So the story is called The Red Thread of Mbali. And then we have the genre is an African romance, drama, mystery, supernatural. And then we have the setting is a mythical pre-colonial East African kingdom surrounded by sacred forests and waterfalls. Yeah, later on I then prompted ChatGPT to give me the scenes separated with the voiceover and also the prompt that we shall be using for our images. But what I want us to focus on is the prompts that I use and the actual images that I got. Yeah, so then I went into ChatGPT 4.0. So once you're there, then you want to ensure you go to your prompt area here, and then you're going to have these three dots. So before you create any image, just ensure that you have that create image, so that it is going to create the images for you using the ChatGPT 4.0 native image generator. So that is simply how to create an image. So for the first prompt, I asked it to create for us like an introduction slide. So you can see create image, cinematic African animated story, intro scene, golden hour lighting, red woven thread forming the title text, tribal patterns in the background, elegant font. So if we go to this image that was created by ChatGPT, we can see that it has followed the instructions exactly as we gave it. We can see we have the tribal pattern here. You can also see we have this text written in the red woven thread. So the red thread of Mbali is written in this thread-like font. And then we also have even the edges as we described them, and even the lighting is as we said. So for the second prompt, I asked it to create this map. So I asked it to create an image, stylized top-down map of a fictional African kingdom, labeled regions. So we have the Ndala village, Whispering Forest, Cliff of Silence. So these are the actual places that I wanted to mark on our map. And these actual prompts, I got them from ChatGPT because I asked it to describe the particular scene so that we'd be able to use those to create our images. Yeah, so that is something that you can do. So this is the image that I got. You can see Ndala village is somewhere here. And then we have the Whispering Forest here. We have this cliff here, Cliff of Silence. Then we have the Oracle's Cave. And by the way, if you're enjoying the video, ensure you like it and subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate all the love and support. Let's continue. And then the next prompt, I asked it to now create a character sheet for Mbali. So we can see ChatGPT describing our character here. Full body character sheet of Mbali, 19-year-old African herbalist girl, warm brown skin, Bantu knots, tribal face paint over one eye, red thread bracelet, colorful wrap dress, 3 expressions, 1 smiling, 1 crying, 1 determined, and then we wanted to have a transparent background. So here I want to show you that you can use ChatGPT to get like a transparent background, so that you can then take your image and overlay it over something. So this is the image that we have. You can see her smiling here, you can see her crying here, you can see her determined. Also notice the skin color. She also has this tribal mark over one eye, and she also has the Bantu knots on her hair. And then also look at the dressing. All this we've actually asked ChatGPT to give us. Yeah, so for the next prompt, I now asked it to give us the character sheet for Adisa the guy. So full body character sheet of Adisa, 22-year-old lean African guard, scar over eyebrow, lion tooth necklace, tribal warrior uniform, consistent features inside front 3/4 poses, transparent background, high detail. Okay, so you can see this is what we got from this. Yeah, and I want you to not mostly focus on the story. Of course, the story is going to help us and guide us because we're going to use this over the entire video, but I want you to look at what it is ChatGPT 4o native image generator can do for you. It can help you get images that are consistent with what you are thinking about. It can help you create things that have not been done before, like the map that I just showed you. You can even create these images that have like a transparent backgrounds that you can overlay them. So I just want you to look at and appreciate. In fact, at this point, you might only be limited by your creativity. Let's look at the next prompt. So for this prompt, I now wanted to start introducing the scene, what it is we're going to have in our story. We have the wide cinematic 2D animated landscape of a peaceful African village at sunrise. Mbali walking barefoot with a herb basket, glowing light, butterfly swarm, leaves swaying. Yeah, and you can describe your images to the last detail, and ChatGPT will do it for you. And then for the next prompt, I now asked it to have both Mbali and Adisa meeting secretly under the moonlight, and then you can see them both here. You can see the image is consistent with what we created in the character sheets. You can see the Bantu notes here. You can see this tribal pattern around one eye for Mbali, and you can also see her clothing and even the bracelet. You can also see for Adisa here. You can even see this lion tooth necklace he had worn earlier. So I'd say that ChatGPT is pretty consistent with the characters because it has the memory already here. We already defined what our characters look like. So when you ask it to create the images in that particular character, then you can see that it is already been able to pick up on that. Next, we have my other prompt here saying now Mbali is alone in a candlelit hut, and then we have the red thread shaped birthmark glowing on the wrist. Remember, that is the one we are saying that sort of has this cast that Mbali has. Then we have shadows stretching, facial expression, fear and wonder, paintry lighting, and tribal textures. Okay, this is the image that we got. Again, you can see this is more or less like the clothing we've had for Mbali. Going to the next prompt, we have now going to the tribal cave. Again, remember, I told you about the map that we created. So this is the Oracle Cave, and Mbali has to go to this Oracle Cave in our story. So here we have the prompt inside the glowing tribal cave, Oracle with cracked mirror eyes, back robes, surrounded by fireflies and mist, Mbali kneeling before them, fantasy realism. Okay, so this is what we got for that. Yeah, you can see this is the Oracle. Here is Mbali again. Again, notice she has the Bantu knots. The clothing is somewhat similar to what we had earlier. So again, going with the consistency. And then for my next prompt, I asked it to combine the key moments in a trailer-like image for me. Okay, so I also want to show you that you can take everything that you've created, the different images for your story, and make it like sort of a trailer. So this is what I got. So we have the first image here. We have Mbali and Adisa here. We have Mbali alone in the candlelight, and then we also have Mbali going to this oracle here. And I think this is really neat because you can use this as a poster if maybe you want to share this with people. If you want to create maybe a poster for like a series you're going to be having, then you can have something like this. I think this was really awesome. After that, I asked it to create a poster to advertise this as a movie in theaters. So I imagined I could create a movie for this, and look at how this has been done so neatly. Like, I was totally blown away by this. We have the title here. The title is using the first slide that we have, like the intro slide. So you can see the tribal pattern here, and you can see the warm lighting that we had. We have Mbali and Adisa here in the moonlight. We have Adisa here alone. We have the oracle here. Like, I cannot begin to explain what this does in terms of changing the entire industry game. Because even if I wanted to use like a graphic designer, I could tell them that this is my inspiration for the poster and tell them just make a few tweaks here and there if you still want to pay a graphic designer. But I think with this, you're pretty much done, unless you want it to be extremely professional. I I really loved this particular one. Okay, so once I'd created all the images that I needed, I then took a step further with this to create AI videos using the images that I created. For this, I use Kling AI, and I'm going to leave a link to it in the description down below. So I uploaded the first image that I wanted to create a video from. Yeah, so you can see our image has uploaded here. And then in the prompt area, I went back to ChatGPT and I copied the prompts that I used to create this particular image, and then I came back and pasted it in here. Okay, and then I asked it to generate. So you can see it is going to use about 20 credits to generate, and about a few minutes later, this is what it generated. So you can see Mbali walking there. She even walks past a tree. So I downloaded that, and then I went to my second image, did the same, and then did the same for all the others that I wanted to create a video with. Next, I create the voiceovers for my story. For that, I used 11 Labs. I'm going to leave a link to it in the description down below, and 11 Labs is absolutely incredible in creating for you the kind of voiceovers that you could be looking for. So just go to 11 Labs, click on where it says text to speech, and then you just paste in the text that you want to use for your story here. So you can see this is my first voiceover, so you just copy it there, and then you take it back to 11 Labs, paste it here, and then you can find a voice that you'd like to use. Okay, so you have some voices here. So you can go to voices, you can look at the library here. It's going to have like a whole lot of voices. Because this is an African animated story, we can have somebody African. So you choose the voice that you want, you can just add it in here. And then once you come to generate your voice, you just find it and then click on generate speech.
It is said that love is the thread that binds souls across time.
Okay, once you're done, you can download that particular voiceover, and you can keep doing that until you have all the different voiceovers that you want to use for your video. Yeah, so far we've already completed 4 steps. We've done our story, we've generated our images, we've generated the videos, we've done our voiceover, and now in the 5th step, we want to compile our video together. For that, I use the Canva video editor. Yeah, so again, Canva is really awesome and simple to use for you to create your graphics, for you to even create videos. Yeah, so I'm going to leave a link in the description down below for you to sign up to Canva. I think it's really awesome. I use it all the time. Yeah, so when you go to Canva, you're going to go to where it says video here, and then you're going to look for where it says maybe this video landscape here. You can see the size is 1920 by 1080. That's what we use for YouTube videos. So you just click on that, and then you add in all your assets. So I added in the images that I got that I was going to just use as images. I added in the videos we created using Kling. I even added the voiceover that we've created using 11 Labs, and then I compiled all that together, and I have an entire video showing you exactly how to create videos using Canva. You can check it out in the description down below. So this is what I got as a final result.
It is said that love is the thread that binds souls across time, but not all love is permissible. And in the kingdom of Lutaya, this was the reality. Mbali was a healer's daughter, born under moonlight, raised among whispers and wind, and her heart belonged to Adisa, a royal guard from a rival tribe, one she was forbidden to love. They met in silence, beneath fig trees, beside moonlit rivers, in the space between breath and heartbeat. They promised forever, but the land had other plans. Soon Mbali began to feel it, a warmth beneath her skin, a whisper in her dreams, the mark on her wrist, glowing. She was the last bearer of the red thread. She sought answers from the oracle of Ndugu, a seer who spoke in riddles. Mbali told Adisa everything about the curse, about the mark, and by morning he was gone. They said he fled, but love, real love, always leaves a trace. A letter arrived, blood-stained and tied with red thread. My Mbali, if this finds you, I am already lost. I dared to love you in a world that forbade it. You are the flame that made my silence scream. But listen, Our love is not a curse, it is a bridge. Let them fear the fire we bring. Always yours, Adisa. She didn't run. She didn't hide. She rose. Because love, true love, is not meant to be buried. And sometimes, to break a curse, you must become the flame.
Yeah, so that is how to use ChatGPT 4.0 native image generator to create your very own animated African story. And if you want to watch how to create videos using Canva, I have entire videos dedicated to that. You can watch the one on the screen. And you should also subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. My name is Peris, and I'll catch you on the next one.